Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be highlighting a product that I've been using on the Apertura Carbon Star series. I liked it so much and it was so easy to use, I decided to take a little bit of time out to highlight this product, and it was the Hotech SCA laser. So if you've missed those videos, I'll make sure to put a link in the description to the playlist so you can check it out. But as I was reviewing that product, it also turned out to be a review on the Hotec because it did such a really good job. What really attracted me to this product was that it was pre-aligned at the factory. After coming off of a stint of learning how to collimate an SCT, which was not easy, by the way, it was really difficult to learn and it took me a long time to do. I was wanting to graduate to a Newtonian, but with the Newtonian, you have to not only worry about collimating the secondary mirror, but you also have to worry about aligning the primary mirror as well. On my C6, I only had to collimate the secondary mirror, so automatically that was really intimidating. And doing a little bit of research, I found out that you have to collimate your collimator. And to me, that really didn't make a lot of sense. And then I found out about the Hotec, which they collimated at the factory. So clearly I bought the Hotec, right? And I'm glad I did, actually. It really has made my life really easy, especially with the series. I don't think I would have been able to complete the series without this. And I like the SCA laser so much that I reached out to Hotec to see if I can get an SCA2 to use on the channel. Because I was really curious about the Crosshair feature on it, right? I really wanted to try out their flagship Collimator, and really in price, it isn't that much more than the SCA. So Hotec actually reached back out to me and I had a really good conversation with the folks over there over the phone. I met David, and to say the least, the company is really passionate about astrophotography. But he learned a lot about the YouTube channel, what I'm trying to do here, and he ended up sending me an SCA2. So I got this from Hotec, and the cool thing is I don't have any agreements with Hotec whatsoever. I can say whatever I want about this product. They didn't give me any money or anything like this. They just simply sent it out to support the channel, which is great because I ended up using it on the Apertura Carbon Star series as well. But let's take a little bit closer look on these two products. I own two models, the SCA, which I purchased, and the SCA2, which I received from Hotec after I reached out to see if they would send me one. Honestly, the SCA worked so well that I wanted to try their flagship product to see what it was like. I used both during my Apertura Carbon Star series, and from what I can tell, Hotec's claims of being pre-aligned at the factory are true based on my own experience. I don't think I would have gotten the results I had gotten during my Carbon Star series without it. I never checked alignment once, I just collimated and then looked at what my stars looked like, and I was able to repeat my results over multiple nights. I also had the opportunity to learn more about Hotec. During a conversation with David, who was interested in my YouTube channel, I discovered that Hotec specializes in lasers and serves many notable clients in scientific research, among other fields. I found it fascinating that consumer astrophotography is just one aspect of their business. The team at Hotec is genuinely passionate about what they do, and from my interactions, it's clear they are astrophotographers themselves. They truly understand the challenges we face night after night and share our enthusiasm for capturing the wonders of the night sky. Both lasers are meticulously factory built, with no components sourced from laser pointers or toys, ensuring perfect center alignment. They feature a self-centering mechanism that guarantees the laser is consistently positioned in the focuser for repeatable results. with a battery life exceeding 65 hours. Thanks to the CR123 battery, these collimators are built to last. They are lightweight, yet robust, accommodating focusers ranging from 1¼ inch to 2 inches and equipped with a highly visible laser engraved targeting indicator. There are visual cues to assist with collimation as well, including the laser's position on the target. Once the laser is centered in the hole, I adjust the outer glow to achieve an even distribution around the hole, which confirms the laser's alignment. The SCA2 enhances this process with its Crosshair feature, providing an additional confirmation that the laser is centered. Now, I mentioned I didn't check alignment on these lasers, and I didn't do that in the traditional sense. A lot of the forums will tell you to put your laser collimator on a V-block and spin it. And then you're going to watch the laser on the wall to see if it moves or not. I didn't think that was the most accurate thing to do because I'm not a laser expert. I don't know what alignment is supposed to look like on a laser. Instead, I paid attention to the repeatable results that I got night after night with the SCA and also SCA2. And then I ended up doing a defocus star test. I think that's the most accurate way to see if your collimator is actually doing its job. And to my surprise, this is what my defocus star test looked like. And it looked really, really good. I mean, I could probably work on it probably a hair, but I don't think it was worth doing that, actually. What I should be doing is laser collimator, putting a Cheshire eyepiece in there to check it or do a defocus star test, but I didn't do any of that in my Apertura Carbon Star series. I simply just dropped this into the focuser and I got really great results night after night with that. And I'll probably still be doing that because these laser collimators are just doing a great job out of the gate. The small variance that I might be getting is just not worth the trouble of trying to correct that. And since I'm a street astrophotographer, it makes sense for me to just want to get out and collimate and just start imaging. A little bit about the mechanism that centers the laser into the focuser. I actually like this quite a bit, and the SCA actually comes apart. So here's the 1¼ inch side, and here's the 2-inch side. You can purchase just this if that's all you have, but it's not much more to purchase these two pieces together. So my suggestion would be to purchase them together out of the gate. That way you're not buying another piece later down the road. But how it centers the laser into the focuser is these rubber compression rings in here. I don't know if you can see that. And as you tighten it this way, there's a piece here at the top that you can turn. These compression rings will expand and it centers the laser into the focuser. It's a lot more accurate than putting a laser collimator into a focuser that doesn't have one of these. And since you're using the tightening screw on the focuser, that also gives you another degree of error. This ensures that your laser collimator is in the same place night after night, thus giving you repeatable results. All right. Now, if you want to know how I am using these laser collimators in my Newtonian, check it out. All right, here's how I'm using the SCA. So one thing I make sure of is that these screws are backed off all the way. So that way the compression ring in here does not interfere with the collimation process. Then I put the SCA laser in, and this is actually the SCA2, just like that in the focuser. And I make sure that the targeting part of the laser is actually facing the rear of the scope. Okay. So this is the targeting part of the laser. And I'll tighten the mechanism here by using the collar, the tightening collar up here. until it stops moving. And for me, it's right about there. You'll kind of get a feel for it. Might take a few turns, but it'll get there. And now it's properly seated into the focuser. And with my battery already inserted in the device, I will twist this to turn the laser on. And here's the SCA facing the rear of my telescope right now. So I'm at the rear of my scope, and I can already tell that my Newtonian is out of alignment, right? It's out of collimation. And I can also confirm this by looking at the rear of my scope, and there's a small circle in the center of the Newtonian, and you can tell that it is way off center there. Now, looking into the front of my scope, I look down into the tube to locate a small circle that is on the mirror. This is the actual center of it, and it's right there. I think you can see it just now. Let me try focusing on it a little bit better. And I can also tell that my laser is off center, right? Then what I do is these 3 screws at the front of my Newtonian, which holds my secondary in place, I adjust that until the laser is centered in that tiny hole that's on the mirror. One other thing you want to make sure of as you're adjusting these screws is you don't want to leave one screw too loose. So as you adjust one screw, make sure you adjust the other ones to keep the tightness there. You don't want your secondary mirror flopping around if one side is looser than the other. So make sure they're all got a nice tightness to it, and you'll be feeling it in the adjustments as you're adjusting these screws. All right, now after my adjustments, you can see that the laser is in the center of that little hole on the mirror. And if we look at the back of the Newtonian, I can also confirm it by looking at the rear side of that tiny circle on the mirror. And then I adjust my collimation screws. There's 3 of them. There's one here, there's one here, and then one over here, until the crosshair is centered on the target on my Hotec laser. All right, one thing to keep in mind is this small screw, once you loosen it, allows you to adjust your primary mirror in this area. So when you're done adjusting it into place, you want to make sure to tighten this back down because you don't want this to be too loose. Otherwise, it's just going to lose collimation through the night. So make sure you tighten this back up, and you might have to fidget a little bit with these 2 screws so you can not only keep it in place, but also have the proper tightness on your primary mirror. And after my adjustments, I just make sure I get an even glow around the hole where the laser is centered, and also I align the crosshairs on the SCA laser to the lines that are on the target as much as possible. So I want to make sure I have an even glow, and also I'm also lined up with the lines on the face of the target, and it's as easy as that. Only takes a minute or 2. Now, the Hotec SCA is not the least expensive option for you. It's also not the most expensive option for you either. But my thinking was if I was going to spend $600 to $1,000 on a Newtonian and demand precision optics out of that, I probably shouldn't be skimping on the instrument I'm using to align those precision optics. I should probably get a precision device like the Hotec to do that job. And Hotec definitely checked all the boxes for me. And speaking of boxes, Hotec will give you this nifty box as well. It's a neat little storage box for the laser collimator, and it has room for a tool in there, and then you'll see a battery in there too, and it just kind of fits in here like this. And it's got some really high density foam in there. I really like it. And I'll put links in the description for this Collimator, the SCA and SCA2, just in case you're interested. They are in high demand like all the time. I mean, took me a while to get my original SCA, but I knew I wanted it. If you can't find it at Highpoint Scientific or Agena Astro, I'll put a link to Hotech's website. And I guess that's it. I'm zapping you guys now with it. All right. Last but not least, I want to thank Hotec and David at Hotec for sending me the SCA2 laser, and also you guys. I don't think I'd have the opportunity to acquire an SCA2 for this channel. So I appreciate you guys watching this channel and spending your time here. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Peace.